Fnatic looking to snowball super hard, and they did.
They did. They played the composition. They stayed ahead. Looked precarious for a couple moments, but definitely pulled it back into this one. So, Giants now, first ban. They're on the blue side this game, of course, swapping up in this best of 2. Zed will be the first ban against Feathervin.
Wow.
And Rise up against Knight.
So maybe Knight just wants his Azir again. Afraid of the counter Zed pick, maybe. Maybe they just have a wealth of champions that just don't lane very well, and they're afraid of early picking on the blue side.
Well, looking towards the next ban from Giants will be Lucian.
What a surprise.
Fnatic have it, yeah. Surprising seeing that champion taken away. But yeah, I see a lot of ADC bans, mid bans nowadays. Braum going to be taken away from Giants, not allowing that to go to Hustland. So now we can probably say that was a deny coming out from Yardstar, even though he played it very well. Yeah. First pick last time from Fnatic.
Control on the Braum, but definitely saying we're valuing it higher that you don't get it rather than we need it. So let's see what the LSR pulls out of the bag. Avid Janna player. Overall, despite Janna not really being the meta, I could still see Yellowstar end up playing it. We have some Bard games in his match history, so I'm hoping for that one, see how well he has trained that champion. And now, Kindred and Italy are out. This is where people consider Echo first picks. If you're Giant, or you may just want to get the Trundle again.
Trundle was strong in that last game, didn't kind of reach its full potential, but was exceptionally strong in fights. And waiting for that first pick coming in from Giants.
Yeah, Trundle in a split push really great. It's something Deficio said on the analysis. It also makes sense. They lacked somebody that could also play on a side lane because everybody was just so afraid of getting collapsed on too. Sunstar had a horrible game, both positioning-wise and just like impact too, as well as the champions that were drafted against him. He really couldn't find any breathing room. But if Giant can find like a comfortable 1v1 comp, double split push, having a champion like a Trundle in there definitely makes sense. The early first pick Vladimir here is very peculiar. It doesn't look like Fnatic would just go like, oh my god, you left Vladimir open.
Oh no, we're
no.
draft.
I'm just gonna first rotation this Vladimir here on purple side. So this feels like Giants had no clue what to pick and kind of went for the Vladimir.
Yeah, interesting. Well, Vladimir first pick in from Giants, looking towards first 2 pickups from Fnatic. I would like this hover, and they lock it in. It will be the Echo and the Lee Sin. Once again, I don't think they really need to change things up. We've got a hover over Talia. She is enabled, but no one picked her.
This is the closest we'll ever get to a Talia pick.
Yeah.
A hover that lasts like 10 seconds. I think that's the closest we'll get today.
It's like 2 people who believe in her, like Bjergsen and Daniel Klein.
Daniel Klein.
Yeah.
He was actually at the European Player Conference giving a class on champ design, and he's asking everybody, Talia? Everyone's like, no. But back to the draft here. I like the first rotation here from Fnatic. It worked last game. Against a team that isn't really that cohesive. It's great to go for the Echo and the Lee Sin. Spirit plays a mean Lee Sin. Kamsu can play, good Echo. So strong opening rotation here for Fnatic. And Giants, they seem to answer with 2 familiar picks as well, Trundle and Elise. In essence, nothing wrong with the picks. It's all about the execution, the gameplay, and the composition that you draft with them.
Yeah, we saw glimpses of hope in that last game where they grouped up, made the composition work, but also a lot of times where Fnatic kind of picked them apart. Trundle and Elise, of course. Waiting on the next 2 pickups from Fnatic. First one will be the Kalista. Really liked it. Out from Reckless in the last game. Had a lot of synergy with Yellowstar. Pulled him out of a couple of sticky situations, threw him into even more sticky situations, but made them work. Very cool to see them be more aggressive in that bot lane with the team.
Yeah, because this is actually a pick we haven't really seen that often lately. Really doesn't come to be as an AD carry. Generally, you see Caitlyn, Ezreal picked over her a lot.
Well, Azir was just picked up now by Feathervin as well, so taking that away from Knight this game. And waiting for the next 2 pickups coming in from Giants. So we'll be rounding off their lineup. It's going to be the support and ADC. I'm not sure if they will lock in a combo, but we have been seeing it in LCK and other regions as well. I like it personally. It's kind of like you have the Ghetto Sivir with the ultimate, so you can speed your team up for a limited amount of time, and you also get that shield.
But why Ghetto Sivir when you go for full-on Sivir? I think I like the Karma here more, because it gives you almost feels like a little bit more defensive capabilities. Sivir Nami is a lane that's very potent when you push, but if you get ganked once, it's very hard to get out of that situation.
We're going to be bringing up the Nautilus once again. Again, the Hustling special. And still waiting on Sunstar. I think he's going to let a timeout into this Sivir pickup, so we'll be onto that team. So definitely just trying to get everyone into that fight. The shorter range mage, kind of mid-range mage coming in from Vladimir, get the Trundle in there as well. Just kind of run at Fnatic and hope for the best.
Yeah, what do Fnatic answer with here? Sivir into Kalista is actually really rough for the Sivir because you can't spell shield the Ren procs reliably. That's generally why you pair Sivir with a range support then, and you just go for the push, not allowing Kalista to go all in anytime. This time, though, Giants have drafted a composition. If they go even in the early game, they can comfortably 1-3-1 double TP, put Sivir in the mid lane, and play from there. Vladimir in a 1v1 scenario is incredibly tough to deal with. So is Trundle. Trundle wins due to outrage and then with Ravenous out-sustains. And Vladimir, it's impossible kind of to kill him 1v1. Unrelenting pressure.
Crazy amounts of sustain coming in from Q with the Crimson Brush, of course. And the last pickup, it was the Janna. So going back to those range supports in there from Yellowstar.
Yeah, as we were talking about, wouldn't be too surprised seeing Yellowstar and a Janna. And now,
not surprised, Crapper.
And now Reckless is kind of in the boat that Sunstar was in last game if the game stays even, where if he goes on a side lane, he can't really deal with Smitty J nor with Knight's Vladimir, so he has to kind of want to be in the mid lane. But Azir is a pick that hates going on side lanes because he doesn't really run teleport either. So Fnatic, if they get ahead, it's fine, you know. Oh yeah, we group in the mid lane and we siege. But if they fall behind somehow, Giants have a really good option at taking control of the game.
Similar story to last game as well, where Fnatic want to be getting ahead early, and Giants, as long as they can keep even and just not fall horrifically far behind, they can still go for this fight, still group up, still force objectives. Hopefully won't get triple Cloud Drake as well, so there'll be something to fight over in the early game for them, like a nice Ocean Dragon, for example. Some good Infernals out there.
Yeah, moving up in the world.
Yeah, moving on up, and we'll see that one.
Well, that's us.
Looking through the window. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how these compositions interact. Traditional Trundle, I like it. It's going to be an exciting game for sure. But remember to jump on Twitter, use those hashtags GIA win and hashtag FNC win. Show your support on Twitter as we get into this game. You can see the teams ready to get into this second game of this best of two, the final game of day one here at the European LCS Summer Split. Giants trying to get that one win back, while Fnatic looking to try and make it that 2-0. We're heading onto the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Giants up against Fnatic. Oh, it's gonna be Infernal. I'm hyped, you're hyped, we're all hyped.
Yay, Infernal Dragons, who can get it first? Fnatic have a great objective-oriented composition, though. If you look at what they do well, they can set up and take these objectives. The zone from these Azir soldiers, the fact that Janna can always reset a fight, Kalista with the Ren to secure. Fnatic will be definitely having their eyes on that Infernal Drake. They need to be careful, though. Don't get overrun by the Sivir comp. Vladimir obviously needs some time to scale. So an early dragon here could be the case for Fnatic. But one ward advantage already
taken out. Got it. One ward advantage over to Smitty J. Both of them going for these refillable potions, of course, into this early game. Mid lane. Knights opted towards the Doran Shield.
Corruption pots, refillable pots. Everybody's being economical. But Hustlin and the Yellowstar, they're throwing away the biscuits. Not thinking about the future. Going for that short-term enjoyment.
Yeah. Well, also good investment for Gamsu. He'll probably go for the Dark Seal and get some more punch out of that item pickup. Spirit chilling up on the top side. And we're going to probably have standard lanes this time, so we saw the lane swap last time.
Yeah, I like the range support pickup into this matchup, because it means that Yellowstar and Reckless can actually go for the push advantage in this lane. Sivir's has a really rough laning phase. She gets outrated early and then pushed in. And look at what Reckless and Yellowstar are doing here. They're kind of just pulling the wave so it pushes towards them, because they know they have the trade advantage. They know Hustlin and Sunstar can never get ahead, so now they're going to move up and try and deny CS and experience here potentially. They'll probably won't deny experience, but they're denying CS here. Sunstar and Hustlin have a little bit of issues. Of course, this means if they play into the strategy too much, Sunstar and Hustlin can just push in. But here we go, the shield rend combo. Obviously, you're playing kind of 2v1 Sivir here.
Kind of unfortunate. Kind of ricocheted the back minions, and then it was zoned away immediately from them, so just lost all of them. And that just gave Reckless the entire wave, so sad times for Sivir.
Backfiring a little bit though, because if you look at the minimap, whereas Reckless and Yellowstar could be pushing, because they had a control early, they still gave over the push to Sunstar and Hustlin, and they're definitely happy for this, because this is, in my opinion, then a laning mistake.
Yeah.
If you go for that strategy, you need to have the gusto, the balls to pull it off. If not, you might as well push early, push Sivir under the tower. Because now she can get into a laning pattern where she can technically just keep you pushed in for quite a while.
Maxlaw will take away that buff and maybe look to get some early aggression down, something we didn't see last game after that first bud, so maybe he'll try and make something happen. We'll take away this crab. Not Febvin coming down, just inspecting what's going down here. Ward comes up as well, so could be a small opportunity for Maxlaw to loop around and maybe make something happen. Bot lane, now seeing Hustlin's dredge line is down, can put a bit of harass back on towards them. In the mid lane, Knight's charging up Tides of Blood, but did not come out ahead in that trade. Yeah,
and both junglers know where the respective other is. They had a little skirmish earlier, as we see Knight fight Febvin. See the power of Vladimir here. Really contesting pushes early on already. This new Vladimir. And we saw the Wolf Sprite reveal Maxlor. Yeah. And obviously Maxlor can see when the Wolf Sprite was taken. So then he actually knows exactly where Spirit is. Obviously he saw him left side first. Hang on, hook on Reckless.
He's good for now. Riptide lands, but the base damage on that have been nerfed repeatedly, so not going to be hurting too much, and takes a lot of those Ren spears coming out there. Spirit's heading down to the bot side, but I believe he was just tagged by that vision, so he's going to be pinged out. Sunstar still pushing up, and really not going to get this gank down today. Sentinels have been also sent out by Reckless. Sniff out any danger. Backstab mid lane. Small advantage for Knight early on into this one.
You see them basing though here, because they had that ward. So that's good. Now they don't have to be afraid of the brush, which means Sunstar and Hustling can comfortably push out. If it wasn't for that, then they had to be kind of afraid. So they can somewhat equal out the CS here. So I think they're okay with that. Playing Sivir not into Janna Kalista, being down a little bit of CS is something you should be happy about.
Spirit still clearing out this jungle. Maxlaw's coming around.
So wants to see if he can have a stab at that one.
Oh no. Well, jumps over the wall, didn't quite get the ward, so he did not utilize the Razor Sharp buff to its fullest, but still does not die, so that's pretty good. Bot lane, Hustling getting chased down. Yellowstar taking a lot of damage in return. Sunstar doing damage onto Yellowstar, and Reckless is just going to die. He just carries on trading. I just kind of expect him to back away, and with Spinny going into the bot lane, he's going to tank up the tower, just needs another auto attack. Well, they're going to finish off Yellowstar, but that was a bit weird.
Yeah, we need to kind of see that again to really highlight a lot of the mistakes that went on here from Fnatic. So the thought is our AD carry comes back from base with more items, therefore we can win the trade. But Yellowstar went for the same kind of aggressive pattern where he exhausts the support aggressively to slow him down, but they can't burn through him in time. Then they switch focus to Sunstar, and because Reckless is burning so low, Sunstar knows, I'm just going to pop my spell shield at the end here. Let's watch this again. Also, take note of how many minions there are here. So Reckless going aggressive right now. He has a shield on him. Hustling flashes. The shield's broken, so no more AD bonus. They get a maximum value heal because there's no ignite to reduce it. And then Sunstar has kind of the zoning spell shield. It's up for as long as Reckless lives. And obviously, Reckless is not going to pull the trigger to give Sunstar more mana. So he can't really rend either. And that's just a bad all-in from Fnatic. The teleport wasn't even needed from Smitty. It was just the insurance there. Yeah, a little over-aggressive here. Reckless and Yellowstar seemingly very passionate about getting rid of the whole, yeah, they're just a bot lane that goes even mentality.
Wow.
Now they're behind.
Yeah, now they're behind. Was it worth it? Well, Hustling going to be walking up, find Spirit. He's going to be walking on out. 6 minutes into this game, a lot more pressure and vision over that dragon area.
Yeah, more importantly, because now Sunstar gets the free BF sword as well on this first base. And it matters a lot because you just pop the shield instantly right now. Any boomerang or an auto W just pops the Janna shield immediately, and a lot of the trading advantage kind of goes out the window. Also, you can just clear the waves a lot quicker. Maxlor looking for Cocoon here. The less time you spend clearing waves, obviously the less time Kalista has stacking those spears on you. It's a lot easier to play.
Well, back up to the mid lane, haven't touched it in a little while. There's a lot of action has been down there. Good little punish there from Febvin. The advances from Knight is picking off a little bit, but still is maintaining it. Looking towards probably the Spirit Business first, coming in here. Yeah. We saw Vladimir early pick up the Proto Belt, went ahead.
So there's a couple of builds you can do on this new Vladimir. The core is always Spirit Visage first because the stats are so valuable and what you get from it. You know, the CDR, the health, the MR2 because you build Vladimir and you generally play against mages. Yeah. Then, if you are not sure what to build, you can always go Warlocks. It's never bad to pick up a Warlock second, it seems like. But if you're slightly ahead, Rylai's, or just even, Rylai seems like a good second item because it just means that when you get the turbo Q, you know, after 2 transfusions, the third one speeds you up. You can then slow people, get for more Qs and Es, etc. And you have become a very annoying force to deal with, especially on side lanes. And then later you can opt in Portabell to go super aggressive, Void Staff if you want to snowball, but the core build seems to be Visage, Rylai's, and Warmox, and you become unkillable. It's so annoying to deal with the Vladimir. One guy got me, 17 LP as well, thanks to that guy. Forgot his name, but he carried the hell out of my game.
Yep, thank you to you. Really love building Warmogs and Vladimir. It feels so rewarding. There's so few champions who pick up that item, and having that out of combat regeneration is crazy good. But usually if you pick up like second item, you don't even have 3,000 health to benefit from that. So, but it's still a good item for him. Of course, scaling from health on his E, lots of damage coming through.
Yeah, Featherman right now is kind of experienced what it is to play into a sustain matchup. Finally, you get it in the mid lane. Bot laners have to deal with it a lot. You basically try and kill them over and over, and they sustain up, and eventually you run out of mana, and they don't run out of mana or health. Good old Soraka equivalent.
Yeah.
Knight doesn't have mana, doesn't run out of health either.
It's true. It's like Soraka on steroids, but in the mid lane. Not fun to play against. Top lane, I haven't even spoken about them yet because it is Jungle Echo. And they are equal farm, have not touched each other, and have been playing Farmville. So
usually, it's not as even in this matchup. We just had production whisper in our ears that Echo used the ultimate to get back to the lane after basing. So quick buy. You only have 4 seconds.
Yeah. Click, 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 click. Managed to get it in time. Yellowstar going to pull back to Reckless. Going to be zoning away Maxlor. He goes up. He goes down. Gamsu coming out here. Tide of Blood will be charged up. And will be backing away. Giants forced into this choke point. A lot of damage coming in there from Featherman. They're all back away back into this mid lane. So very quickly, all of these players kind of came around this blue buff area, but no one went down.
Gamsu still had his teleport.
Ooh, yeah. Takes a spider, but did not go down. So sidesteps the dredge line there.
I'm liking it from Giants so far. The Fnatic couldn't kind of crack open that bottom lane, so Sunstar's fine right now. Big stark contrast compared to game 1. And what we were talking about before these pesky little teams started fighting is that Trundle should have a small lead over Echo. But because obviously Smitty J teleported to the bot lane, kind of watched Yellowstar die. Reckless die rather, and then didn't really get anything out of it himself. He got a little bit behind. But Giants, they seem to have control of the game already. And while we're talking about how good Fnatic is at like controlling some of these objectives, Giants are the one controlling the map right now. Knight's doing phenomenally well on this Vladimir. Continuous push on a Nazir. Smitty J, early respect flash and a juke. This is all good stuff from Giants.
Just in case Spirit kicks him back into his team. Delicious Infernal Dragon will go down to Giants.
And then the writing on the wall spells another Infernal there.
2 in a row. Spirit over the wall. I think it was spotted. That's the fullback ping.
Sneaky Smitty J is there. So he's keeping tabs on Spirit. Now that tabs is no longer in the LCS.
Yeah, he's not keeping tabs. He's watching him though. Smitty J is watching his tower get destroyed by Gamsu.
Just like Rocket wasn't keeping tabs.
Well, Smitty, he's happy to carry on taking away these minions. And game has definitely slowed down, not really fighting over the dragon. And Fnatic...
It's generally really hard to fight over the dragon when it's not there anymore.
That's true, especially when it's a Drake. And, you know, Fnatic, you spoke about them in Champion Select. If they fall behind, could face some issues heading into mid-game, late game.
It feels like such a generic caster comment. Yes, if this team falls behind, it'll be very hard for them.
They're going to lose.
Thank you for your analysis, Grabo. Here's your briefcase full of cash.
Yeah, but it's more true with this composition.
Yeah, it's hard for them because they don't have any ways to kind of come back at it. Their CC is all kind of conditional. So if you can use the threat of an objective to force people into kind of chokeholds or use these zones to influence their movement, sure. But if you're trying to contest an objective, people are going to step out of parallel conversions. It's going to be hard for Feven to make a play. And Yellowstar as Janna isn't really the one that wants to be thrown in. You can throw in a Braum, but you don't really want to throw in a Janna. And because the Silver lane is not continuously pushing in this Kalista Janna lane either, their usefulness is going down as well. So Giants have control of the wave in the mid lane. They have the stronger duel in the top lane, and they have the AFK push in the bottom. That makes it very hard for Spirit to find an opening on the Lee Sin.
Ruh-roh. Gamsu taking a bit of damage there. Pella comes up, but he's good to go. Backs off to the tower. And the matchup is slowly shifting in Smitty J's favor. Knight, he's going to have to do something here. We'll go into the Sanguine pool. Spirit, what does he have to follow up? Well, Azir will do just that. Max Lord comes here just in time to save him.
That's the difference between last game. Now he can just simply pull out. Yellow Star in the river.
Sunstar getting caught out. Flashes forwards right into the Fate's core, but Spirit's there to back them up. Maxlaw, he's playing fire control, comes in, doesn't land the cocoon, and now he doesn't want any of this anymore. Will flash away into the bot side of the map. Spirit follows after, lands the Q, and with Azir coming in from the mid lane, sliding and gliding into Maxlaw. Repel comes up, looking for the sneaky juke, but not going to happen today. Febiven will find him, and he will kill him. 2-0 to Fnatic.
Yeah, Hustling desperately trying to base here. His base got cancelled. Gamsu,
hey,
ulting back. SmittyJ did not have teleport. Again, when he doesn't have teleport, Fnatic is using that window of opportunity really well to make roams here. Knight is still in the mid lane. So Fnatic, they make the good reaction. You can't deal with him. You can't gank him. He's out pressuring you. Well, just step away from him. Vladimir doesn't really roam that well, especially once his ulti is down. So Fnatic, they go for the full-on bot lane party. We would need to go back and see what brought Giants to the river. Because Sivir Nautilus shouldn't really be in the river, and even then they should have On the Hunt to escape. Big fan of the patience that Fnatic had as well. Let's watch this again. So this is the initial gank here on Knight. No kick flash from Spirit, mostly because Flash is down. It's very hard to kick flash then. Knight goes out, so he's fine, but Feben's a lot healthier, Spirit's healthier, so they're going to move in for play here. And this is where Giants is just making a mistake. I mean, this On the Hunt aggressively from Sunstar is a major mistake, and he costs his team all the momentum they've procured. They wait for Spell Shield to fade, double knock up, then Maxwell gets caught out, has to flash, Febiven circling around, and this is all because the Giant bot lane wants to fight in the river. When their entire job this game is to simply keep pushing in that tower on the bottom lane, and then they can run to their tower to be safe. Right now they were just out, way too far in the open.
Yeah, miscommunication for sure. Sunstar popping the ult and even coming up the river trying to assist mid lane. Mid tower does go down though to Giants, even that up 1-2-1. So they managed to find that in rotation. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining until the second Infernal Dragon.
Yeah.
See if Fnatic can pick that one up.
Just makes me sound like a whiny grandpa when I see that stuff, you know. Just play towards your win condition. Don't try to win it all at once.
Yep.
It's very clear that it's almost as if when you play solo queue and you have a clear gameplay pattern that gets your team ahead. It's like, okay, we're doing this, it works, let's keep doing it. Then suddenly once you get ahead, everybody gets these crazy ideas.
Yeah.
No, now I can walk into the jungle alone and fight their entire team.
To make mistakes. But, every mistake will put you further behind, and from that advantage now Fnatic is ahead. Gamsu, he's still clearing out this minion wave. He's still good against Smitty. He can hold the line. Oh, Spirit is coming in. Knight is dropping low, pops the ultimate. Hemoplague will heal him back up for a little bit. Gonna be flashing away, and Spirit will flash after him. He is going deep, lands the Q, lands the ult. Do it.
Welcome to Vladimir, boys. Collapse coming into the jungle too from Giants. I really like the distribution here from Giants. Once that bot lane tower was down, there was no reason for Sunstar to be exposed anymore on a side lane. They put him mid, just like we talked about in champs, like the 1-3-1 here from Fnatic. The dual being won in the top lane. SmittyJ winning there. Knight can hold his own on the bottom lane, because even ganging up 2v1 is incredibly hard. The sustain, look at it. Rekos just went to 30% HP. He was stacking the spears like, okay, 2 more spears and I can maybe pop this guy, and suddenly Knight, with just 1 item, is already full. Yep. Imagine what this is going to be once he starts picking up maybe the Warmugs, the Rylai's. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Not even a damage item. We'll get a little bit off his passive, but not all that much.
Anything's a damage item for Vladimir.
Yeah, you can build literally anything pretty much, and it will result in Vladimir hitting you harder. Top tower is finally going down. Gamsu was unable to hold the door on that one. In the bottom lane, Knight is going to be taking away these minions. Spirit, he's taking away the Infernal Dragon. Mid lane, a lot of damage onto Maxlaw. But overall, Fnatic get away with that. 1 apiece. Both of them getting that Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, tower traded though for Giants here. Bang on even in gold. But the scaling though, it's going to be incredibly hard to deal with both Knight and SmittyJ. Back in the day, the good old days of League of Legends.
The good old days, yeah.
About 2 months ago, you could QSS out of both their ultis, but right now, can't.
Yep. Good old war stories from Grandpa Grappo here. Back in my day.
I remember it clearly. It was February 2016. I was playing against the Trundle and Vladimir. They both used their ultis on me, and I pressed Quicksilver Sash. Now, who am I kidding? I'm a supporter. I can't afford Quicksilver Sash.
I was too poor. But Yellow Star, he's going to be warding on up here. And Sunstar and Hustling, again, venturing forth outside of the natural habitat of bot lane. Will be coming up the river here. Yellow Star. The Spirit lying in wait. This triple man gang squad going to be popping the ultimate, but right into these two players. Good. Howling Gale out from Yellow Star, who's still under attack, is going to be reckless. Yellow Star jumping in front of him, trying to find the cocoon. Teleport coming in from Smitty J, but a collapse in from Gams, who might be good in from Fnatic. Parallel convergence lands on two, and both of them will die immediately to Fnatic's follow-up. Knight getting chased down, Max Laura as well, jumping back to safety with the Chrono Break. Double kill out for Reckless, looking for the last one on tonight, and this is as clean as it gets for Fnatic, the clean ace.
Fnatic clean up with the ace. Good thing and a bad thing here for Giants. The good thing is there was no hesitation on the engage. The bad thing is that there was no hesitation on the engage. They just kept going for it, solo Q style, all in, used all their cooldowns to get to the target, and then they realized they're getting pincer collapsed here. Major props to Spirit. In the midst of all that chaos, he managed to find Sunstar. Let's see this again. So this is on the hunt used. 3-man nado from Yellow Star here. Q to the wall, to then flash. Flash cocoon. Reckless is still not caught. There's no CC left. Q connects to Sunstar. Spirit waits. Again, a spell shield waste. Sunstar gets connected with the Q and then pops a random spell shield that gets him killed. And then Featherman comes in and cleaning up. So, yeah, even a Fed Knight can't really do anything here.
Yeah, but see how much health he's getting back. He went into Sanguine Pool and basically went back to full health again. But Fnatic, 5 people wailing on him. Eventually he goes down, building towards the Zhonya's Hourglass now in this game, so he can survive a little bit longer in those situations. And Fnatic, 3,000 gold ahead, 8-1, definitely have control over this game now. And taking away all of these buffs for themselves. Take a look at some of the item builds, looking towards mid lane now. Nash's Tooth looking towards probably the Rylai's coming out there.
Ooh, look at the pings here. They're looking for an incredibly early Baron here. This is something we've seen more today. Yellow Star on the bottom lane here. Spirit in the bottom lane. Smitty J's pathing over. He's hoping he doesn't path a ward or a sentinel. Is Fabi gonna spot him? No.
Don't mind me, Featherman.
Featherman's scared of his own jungle, so he's scared of kind of... Yeah, he's scared of Smitty J being in one of these bushes. Like, guys, I can't push mid lane. Now they figure out Baron's going on. Teleport comes out here from Knight. Look at the parallel convergence, though.
Will the reaction be fast enough? Gamsu over the wall. Parallel convergence doesn't really land on anyone. But
Spirit gets it!
Fnatic, and Spirit gets it down with Giants now being followed after. This is all going down a creek without a paddle. And with Fnatic looking for this last kill on tonight, that will be a 4-0 and the Baron. You cannot get anything over Fnatic in this game.
A creek without a paddle.
Yeah, a certain creek filled with certain things, Crepper.
Yeah. Oh, creaking and paddling here. Fnatic, I like the move from Giant. It's bold. It's no hesitation. Sadly, maybe the teleport from Knight could have come earlier to just really rush that play here. They felt they were behind. It does seem that Giants make moves that they can never pivot from. Yeah. They can never kind of alter their gameplay because the communication isn't there. When they went for the pick in the top lane, nobody had the presence of mind to say, like, guys, mayhaps we are in too deep here. They kept going for it. A bold Baron call here at the 20-minute mark. Feven comes in, swoops in, scoops everybody out of the pit here. And Spirit comes in, early smite. Yeah. So this is an early smite here from Max Lore. So hard to do on a stage as well because when Feven separates him from the Baron, there's obviously no longer the Q smite combo possible. Spirit has a relatively easy steal. It's always easier when your enemy jungler already uses smite. Yeah, clutch steal here by Spirit. Get the Baron and the cleanup.
They are just so far ahead in this game. Look at that Baron power play. 5,000 gold all in that one play. 20 minutes into the game is crushing for Giants. And
it's the best Baron power play where you get the Baron first and then you clean them up.
Yeah.
As opposed to killing them and getting the trophy Baron.
That's true. Adds to your stat line. And Fnatic pushing all of these waves. Giants, like... They went for the Hail Mary. Props them for making it happen. They're still trying to find these picks, trying to make plays.
See, that's the stuff I like. Where nothing's happening, but Feven, he's respecting the brush, so he goes for the cheeky Azir combo in the pit and over.
Yeah.
Really just respecting potential pickoffs.
I want to see more of that, actually, as Azir's coming back into the meta, and those changes a while back for Azir, where you can pull some really cool sliding glide combos through really thick terrain. Don't see too much of it. There's like the horseshoe that you can do and the
you
can chance, but
you can dash in.
Listen, most scenarios.
Yeah, you can dash in ulti and then follow your ulti out of the fight. But there's actually never a scenario where you want to do that because you end up at the same side of the wall as your opponent. So,
But it looked cool.
It does
But, unfortunately, yeah, there's very little practical applications of that skill. So Fnatic still pushing it up into the bot lane, the top lane, the mid lane. Spirit is now a split pusher. 1-0 and 8 this game. Has picked up the Black Cleaver.
Yeah.
And Smitty J is starting to get the better, or rather Gamsu's getting the better of Smitty J in the top lane. Slowly but surely.
Help with the
Not
minions.
anymore. Now with Sunstar and the rest of Giants closing in, but yeah, Gamsu's already gone, guys.
That passive. And then Knight's playing 2v1 in the bottom lane. Look at the damage. It's so hard to deal with him. But right now, Reckless strong enough. He also has lifesteal right now. It's obviously key if you want to duel Vladimir as an AD carry. You need to lifesteal, especially when you have AoE attacks here too. Reckless, he can clear out the waves with ease while fighting Knight at the same time.
Fight that sustain with sustain. Bot lane. Gonna be taking down this tower. Fnatic breaking that base open, and this will just, I feel like this is going to be the slow grind right now. But the Baron is just one off.
I mean, I'm not sure what your definition of slow is when they're
going to be the fast grind right now.
they're over 11,000 gold ahead of 24 minutes. Yeah. Ooh.
Bit of a slow game here.
This game is really not delivering here.
Well, Fnatic gonna find the Earth Dragon, the Mountain Dragon, and that will accelerate the game because it is such a slow push, honestly, coming in from Fnatic right now. Going back to base, 24 minutes into this game, already cracked open the base. Inhib is open for them, and you can see the nice shiny Earth Dragon, the Mountain Dragon.
Sadly, there's not a Cloud Break, otherwise it would have been like Earth, Wind, and Fire. We won't get to that point anymore. It's another Infernal coming up here. It seems like they really come in packs, these dragons.
They do, yeah. Over on CSQ, we like to perform alchemy with them, so we would combine, of course, the Mountain and Infernal would fuse together and form a Volcano.
Volcano?
Yeah. So depending on the next one, we can, of course, adapt that into something else. So Fnatic coming into the mid lane, right? He's still farming up the jungle. And
is this like an active volcano then?
Before the storm.
Fires?
Yeah, I mean, it's ready to erupt for sure.
Is that a metaphor for this game? Spirit right here?
It might be. Not quite yet. It's got the warning signs for sure. Fnatic gearing up, setting up the top wave, setting up the mid wave, and looking to push in. Bot inhib is still open, by the way.
I mean, they see Sunstar in the bottom lane, so this is just going to be an immediate dive here for Fnatic. Fiercely protecting those two lonesome range creeps that are marching into their inevitable demise. Reckless.
Reckless. He thought he was safe from the two range creeps, but he was not. Sunstar instantly pops though. And meanwhile, Reckless still trying to back away. Knight will find him. Shut down there for Maxwell. Emperor's Divide trying to buy some time. Fnatic definitely on the retreat here. Spirit really can't get involved in this straight turnaround. And the soldiers will obliterate Maxwell. Gamsu comes into the fray. Bustler not trying to back off here. Knight, he's got the sustain in from the ultimate, but it might not quite be enough. And it will be Knight to him. Now the chase down onto Spirit. That's another kill. 4 for 1. Fnatic come out ahead once again.
Yeah, Fnatic get engaged onto Reckless, but Velastar buys enough time for him. It doesn't matter that he drops because the continuous DPS from Feven and the late teleport from Gamsu is enough. That was the eruption we were waiting for.
There's the eruption. And Fnatic pushing in the top lane. There will be the inhib going down for sure. Now we have the respawn out from Giants, so not going to be taking any more. Maybe he will. Sunstar, he's
burning.
Respawning, he's burning, he's dead. Should have stopped, dropped, and rolled, but didn't have that ability.
I wish that was like the counter to red buff burns.
Yeah.
Just drop on the floor, start rolling.
Yeah, on stage. It's like, guys, burning, please heal. But Sunstar, he spent a lot of time dead in this game. Dropped at that fight, dropped again as soon as he came up. And did a lot last game as well.
Screen covered in ashes, completely great.
Oh, Gamsu. He just found the 1v1, and I mean, what are you going to do as an AD carry in this position?
Not flash.
Over the wall.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're not going to do. You're never going to flash when Echo's E is about to come up. You need to wait for it to proc, otherwise you just carry him over and you're dead 100%.
Yeah, it's the least in thing, but we can see the opening again to this fight and the cleanup. And just really good work by Gamsu, not only getting the 1v1, but also getting the cleanup into this fight.
Yeah, good aggressive flash NATO there from Yellowstar too. It basically puts people in place. Quarter parallel convergence stun from Echo. Another good NATO here, canceling Smitty J. Fnatic right now in complete control. 14,000 gold in the lead is preposterous. It's just too much to deal with.
It's not possible. Gamsu.
How can he lead?
How can he lead? That is a really good question, Gamsu. Getting caught up. He is chasing after Maxlaw. Oh, he's separated from the team. Hustler's going to try and bail him out, though. Knocked against the wall. Good ultimate in from Yellow Star. Everyone is coming in to this fight. Spirit over the wall. The kick and the kill. 3-0. Fnatic finding incredibly good fights from themselves. 20-2 in this game. This game has gone out of control in these last 8 minutes.
Yeah, and if you're tuning right now and you see, okay, Fnatic is 20 kills against 2 for Giants, you think this is going to be, this was a complete stomp here, but Giants, for me, it all goes back to that play where Sunstar popped his ulti in the river. They elected to change their gameplay pattern from just pushing all lanes, using Knight's pressure, and it all started crumbling from there. Also, the rotation down in the bot lane then from Fnatic that followed. That one mistake from a single player or his team electing not to tell him not to do that. Cost him 3 kills at tower, all the map play. Suddenly Knight couldn't really maneuver anymore himself, and things started crumbling there for Giants. So definitely worth rewatching for them. I think they'll pause and rewatch that entire sequence a couple of times.
Yeah, definitely could have used better use of the fallback ping there. Fnatic now pushing down the mid lane. Should be able to get this tower very easily, and this should probably be a very easy hit on top of that. Knight is charging Tides of Blood, but it really just scratches Yellow Star.
Yeah, maybe we finally found the reason why people spam it, you know, just to practice.
That's true.
So when they scrim and they get to LCS, that they're 100% sure how to use the Spirit here, going for the win sec.
But he only knocks Mackalaw off to the side as you don't think it's going to matter. But Sunstar just get a kill onto Spirit to open up the fight, and everyone's just trading blows all over the place. Fevin's now onto Maxlaw and Sunstar on the 1-on-2 and finds both of the kills for himself. 5-1, only one casualty, and Fnatic will find a very convincing end to this best of 2 here. 29 minutes into this game, and they crush Giants' dreams onto Nexus itself. 2-0, 3 points on the week.
Yeah, 3 kills, 2 towers, and I believe just 1 dragon here for Giants. That's all they managed to get here. Fnatic closing out the series 2-0 as expected. We were saying, is this a gauge for how good Fnatic is? Still some mistakes, but Reckless, he's playing on the forefront. He's not afraid to get caught, and he's going in.
Yeah, and it's cool to see. Very entertaining. And even if he dies, he's usually taking a lot of people with him. Had a very similar scoreline last game as well. 2 deaths, both games. Really outstanding performance. Yellowstar also coming back into the lineup, looking real clean. 1-0 and 21 in that game.
I mean, he had some Magi at the end of the game with 20 stacks. Somehow we keep missing that every time. By we, I mean myself. Obviously,
me too. I'll take half the blame.
Sure. I'll give you the other half. It's all your fault, Pulse. No, 20 stacks on Gamsu too here. Just look at the score lines. 15 assists, 12, 10, 10. And the ones with 10 assists have 9 and 8 kills each respectively. Febiven and Reckless here. Fnatic run a team fight comp, and they fought together as a team. Giants couldn't really do anything after that kind of key phase that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, it really was just the Baron really going for that Hail Mary play after losing a little bit in the early game. And from there, it was just a very, very steep hill where Fnatic took everything from them. Nothing really Giants could do.
I like what Knight brought to the table. He seems to have at least potential. I want to follow more of what he can do against some of these other mid laners here.
We know he's a very mechanically strong mid laner. We've seen the highlight clips, we've seen the plays. And we saw it in the mid lane up against Febiven as well.
Yeah, definitely had the pressure advantage in this game. CS advantage in last game. Sunstar is for me a big question mark though. His performance positioning in both these games was incredibly lackluster, and it's something we talked about in the opening of this game too. Having your AD carry be and your mid laner be Koreans. Mid laners on an island can perform because it's 1v1, but AD carries, they need to synergize, you know, with top laners to call for teleports, with their supports to see what you're doing, with the team to figure out where you need to be, push, freeze, where you put the pressure. It's no longer just raw laning ability, and Sunstar was definitely lacking the communication and positioning part.
Yeah, I think communication was the key one for me. I mean, like walking up river halfway through that game with his support just kind of in tone. It's just like, come with me, this is a good idea. And then immediately gets collapsed upon, and all of it just kind of collapsed from there. And it was sad because actually Giants did have the advantage.
Oh, they had the game at that point.
And then Sunstar just walks up, and or it just becomes a fight. Maxwell tries to bail him out. He also goes down. Yeah, it was a sad play.
Control of the game. Let's not say, by the game, I don't mean, oh, they've had already won. You know, if they were just somewhat decent, they would have won that game. No, they had control of the game, and they could have given us a lot more interesting of a game, but we saw Fnatic shining in some of these team fights.
Yeah, well, it is now time to send it down to Pyrotechnics, who is on stage with Yellowstar.
Thank you very much, Pulse. Of course, I am joined by Yellowstar. Once again, welcome. You're back. It's good to have you again. Let me just ask you, how were you able to slot back into Fnatic? You just slide right into the shot caller again?
I mean, it was natural. You know, I stayed in the house. I was a bit afraid because I didn't know like the Koreans, but it was just natural. You know, we got in game, we played, and I was just doing the way I was doing last year. So I felt pretty comfortable. So it was really nice.
It certainly showed through in that series. I mean, you guys got off to a pretty good start. A few stumbling blocks in game 1 versus Giants, but that second game, incredible performance. Nice stacks on your Medjais, by the way. Where do you rate a lot of the teams in LCS right now? So much has changed since you played here in Europe.
It's still the beginning of the season, so it was really hard to tell, considering that we only had like 10 days of practice, but we've played almost all the teams. I would say we still need more practice, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to stack up at the top, and hopefully we'll take the trophy back.
Ooh, okay. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys are able to perform there. You said you have a little bit more work to do. Where do you think you'd rate your team at the moment in the split of everything? Obviously, you haven't even been able to see everybody's games, but just knowing where your skill level is at right now and knowing relative levels from some of the teams from the scrims and practices, where do you think Fnatic at the moment stacks up?
We still have like some issues to work on. I wouldn't be afraid to say that we should be in the top 3 right now, and I hope that we'll show it really soon.
All right, well, let me ask you the last thing here. Who do you think those other 2 teams are in the top 3 at the moment? I think I have a feeling I know at least one of those, but go ahead and tell me.
I don't know, you guess? I would say G2, and the other one maybe H2K, I would say. I'm not sure yet.
Well, there's a lot of split to play out. It is great to have you back, Bora. Thank you once again, and a fantastic performance. You can go ahead and join your team backstage. For now, though, we are going to send it back to the analyst desk to have Shocks and the guys break it down to close out the day.